Hello and welcome to the Pedders Suspension and Breaks Outer East Football Netball Show, brought to you by Gameface. I'm Adam Miller, and once again alongside me in the studio with Steph Barkers. Good afternoon, Steph.
Good afternoon, Aidan. Well, it is a massive week because, of course, we have our first finals this week. The junior finals are starting, which will be followed by all our other finals, and oh my God, I can't wait.
Most certainly looking forward to it. Plenty of action coming up in another episode of the Outer East Show. We'll bring you all the latest news from across our competition.
We have an interview with the Division 1 leading goal kicker, Olivia Edwards from Olinda Ferny Creek.
An interview with field umpire Ella Priestley and boundary umpire Lili Denovan off the back of the all-female umpire panel with the Olinda Ferny Creek v Belgrave match that happened on the weekend.
In-studio guests Genesis Foster-Jonassen from Seville after being selected to play for the Cook Islands in their 21 and under team at the Netball World Youth Cup, which is taking place in September.
Plenty of news across junior football with finals starting this week and lots of positive things happening off the field as well.
We review last week's match of the round results, plus give you a match of the round preview for this weekend between Officer and Rock versus Emerald.
And of course, a huge thank you to Pedders Suspension Breaks, our partner for the Outer East Football Netball Show in season 2025.
Well, making news this week, it is, of course, the last home and away round for our senior women's footballers this weekend. And I must say, Aidan, one matchup that I'm really looking forward to is Warburton-Westburn versus Yay. I think that'll be a really exciting one. It feels like in the back half of the season, Yay, it is their first season, but I think they've sort of grown over the season. They've had a lot of wins, they've done a lot of work, and they've cemented themselves a final spot. And I think they're a sneaky chance.
I know, I agree with you, Steph. I think, they beat Wandon at Wandon in the second half of the season. They've also gotten over the top of Emerald. They were able to knock, I guess you could say, local rivals Thornton Ilden out of the top four as well. So I certainly agree. I think that Warburton-Westburn side's going to be very hard to catch, but I almost think Yay might potentially be the second seed. They might potentially have surpassed Wandon. We don't know just yet. We'll probably see in the finals, but I do agree with you 100%. I think Yay have really come to form at the right time.
It's a very exciting division all round, and I am really looking forward to finals. So Yay currently are fourth, as you said, with a 7-6 record, and Warby do remain undefeated.
Yep.
But yeah, I do think that this game is going to be a lot closer than some might think, and I'm really excited to see where it ends up.
Most certainly will be very telling for the final series coming up. The Yarra Valley Water Junior Football Finals begin this Sunday. There are 4 venues that will be hosting finals with a mix of elimination, qualifying, semi-finals taking place. For more information, you can find the Outer East Juniors fixtures on Play HQ.
The other piece of news that we have this week is, of course, the Women of the Outer East Leadership and Networking Lunch is taking place next Thursday, August 7 at Rochford Wines. We have so many amazing guest speakers taking part in the day. Also, I wanted to stress this is a free event. So please reach out to your club committee if you want to come along because there are limited places. So make sure you're getting quick if you do want to attend that one.
Lastly, it's already been a huge year for milestones and records. We've had Wandon's Ara Mullen, of course, kick 100 goals after just 13 games this season. Warburton-Westburn Scarlett Henderson has kicked over 50 and holds the record for the most goals kicked in the season by an OEFN women's player. In the netball, we've had Bombbox Perry Reid notch up the 7,000 career goals, but now we've got more. Pakenham Reserves playing coach Matthew Viano is set to kick goal 100 on the weekend in their home game against Yarra Glen, and Bombbox Georgia Ragg has just broken the record for most goals in a single match by an OEFN netball player, scoring an insane 106 goals on the weekend in Monbox match against Hillsman B grade. To give you a bit of context, she would have had to have scored a goal every 34 seconds to get to the 106, which is ridiculous.
Insane. I feel like we've had so many viral moments this year. There's been all these milestones. There's been records broken. We've had Dave Johnson on the Sunday Footy Show. We've had Robbie Allen on Sunrise. It has been a media storm this year.
It most certainly has, Steph. Breaking for goal kickers and goal scorers in particular for the Outer East.
Absolutely. All right, well, we'll go over to the Yarra Valley Water Juniors Corner now for an update on our junior competitions. As Aidan mentioned at the start, there is a lot of news around the juniors.
There most certainly is, Steph. This week's Junior Player of the Week is Sam from Mount Evelyn Junior. Sam was solid in the back line. She attacked the ball and drove it forward on many occasions. Sam also has a very strong and accurate kick.
Yeah, great job, Sam. We'd also like to shout out Mount Evelyn Juniors and Monbulk Juniors because they are the first 2 Outer East clubs to renew their women and girls chartered status. Now, let me tell you why this is such a huge deal and a massive achievement, because a renewal means that those clubs have actively taken steps in completing their action plan in the past 12 months, supporting women and girls in the areas of opportunity, visibility, access and investment, with plans for that to continue over the next year as well. So it's huge. Well done, guys. Well done on leading the way for everybody else.
Last but certainly not least, Upwey Tacoma Juniors deserve a massive shout out for all their work with Foothills Community Care. Foothills Community Care provide meals, hospitality and a place to belong in the Dandenong Ranges and foothills of Outer East Melbourne. And on Monday, some of the under-16 Rangers boys volunteered at the Foothills Community Night in Upwey, helping with prepping and serving dinner and packaging food parcels for vulnerable people in our community. In addition, the whole club ran a socks and underwear drive with all apparel donated to Foothills as well. Amazing work, guys. guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done. Let's jump over to match of the round. We'll, of course, start with reflecting on the one just gone, Belgrave and Powtown. We both selected Belgrave for both football and netball.
We did, yep.
So we got those right. It's not often that we both get both correct, to be perfectly honest. But
I think Adam got Powtown for netball, so Adam got one wrong. He was 1-1, but we did both go Belgrave.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, give me a wrap-up of those two matches.
Yeah, we'll start with the netball. It was actually a pretty even start to the game, I thought. I thought Powley really brought some good intensity and energy early to the game, but then Belgrave really just sort of took control from probably the midway point of the second quarter. It was... I don't know, the conditions were a little bit off, a little bit windy, but Naomi Hargrave's really good in goals. She had a pretty tough matchup on Era Mullen, but I thought she did a really good job on her. Still thought Era Mullen did a really good job for Powley. I thought Oliver Senhouse as well for Powley was quite good in goal defence. Overall, pretty easy victory for Belgrave in the end. Pretty impressive. Probably not going to make finals, but good way to get a win before the season's out, I'd say. Probably much the same in the footy. Belgrave, 99 points. They've just found some form at the right time of the year. As mentioned, we called them back in round 5 when they played Yay, and they hadn't won a game. By that point, they were 0-4, so they've really flipped the switch since then. They're 8-6 now. They've gone 8-2 from being 0-4, which is really impressive. Could have won that game by a lot more too as well. They were a little bit inaccurate, but still, you take a 99-point victory any day. I thought Liam Pemberton was fantastic. He had plenty of the ball in the midfield, even bobbed up and kicked 4 goals. Nathan Dawson up forward, he kicked 5 goals. Could have had a bigger haul. He kicked 5 goals, 4 on the day, but he was quite potent in that forward line. Nathan Power really came to in the second half. Didn't kick any goals to half time, but still finished with 3 in the afternoon. Ben Ratton, he was still quite solid. Usually does what Ben Ratton does. He had plenty of the ball. He really sort of did his best to keep his side in the game. I thought Daniel Kitt was really good in the back line. As mentioned, kept Nathan Power goalless to half time, so he was really quite impressive. And Dean Roy bobbed up and kicked 3 goals as well. So certainly some good players on the day for Powtown, but just a very strong performance by a very strong Belgrave side.
Yeah, okay, all right. Well, let's go over now to our match of the round for this week, which is Officer and Rock versus Emerald.
This weekend, the pressure's on, and the stakes couldn't be higher. In the footy, it's Officer versus Emerald, a clash that will help decide who stays in Premier Division in 2026 and who goes down to Division 1. There's no next week, no second chances, just one game to shape next season. Over on the netball court, it's just as fierce. Emerald are inside the top 4 and pushing hard for a top 2 finish. But standing in their way, Rock. Rock can't make finals, but they can shake them up. A win here dents Emerald's premiership campaign and gives Rock one last shot at their leaving mark. 2 clubs, one massive day. It's the Rochford match of the round.
Well, we'll take a look at the footy first, Steph. The last time these two sides played, we did actually call that game, and that was back in round 6 of this season. Emerald won that game by 41 points. The final scores were 13-11-89 to 6-12-48. Coming into it this time around, the stakes are pretty high, in particular for Emerald, it has to be said, because Officer are currently 9th on the ladder with a 3-10 and the 1 draw against Hillsville record, whilst Emerald are 10th with a 2-12 record. So Emerald currently sits 6 points behind. So if they lose, they're going to be 10 points behind and probably in dire straits, I think it has to be said, in terms of that relegation battle. So important for Officer to win, but so crucial for Emerald to win this game if they don't want to go down. Take a look at some of the key matchups. Ewan Wadsworth, he's averaging 31 disposals a game this season, including 13 contested and 6 tackles. He'll go head-to-head with Nathan Allen, who's averaging at 22 disposals a game, including 5 clearances and 6 scramble ball gets. Looking forward to this ruck battle as well. Another ruck battle I'm really looking forward to. Steve Kapanki, he's 3rd for hit-outs and hit-outs to advantage with 35 and 7 a game in Premier Division. Behind Jake Gaines, who's 1st for both of these stats with 39 and 9 a game. So going to be a really crucial ruck battle there. Then down both ends of the grounds, Josh Wester will go head-to-head with Dave Johnson, I imagine, who's got 19 goals for Emerald, the most for the Bombers this season. And Luke Spalding probably head-to-head with Mark Seedsman, who's got 30 goals for Officer, their leading goal kicker, and sits inside the top 10 for Premier Division. Heading across to the netball, again, round 6, we did call this game as well. It was the last time they played. Emerald won that game by 18 goals, 56-38 was the final score in that game. Coming into it this time around, Emerald are 4th on the ladder with a 9-3-1 record. Rock are 7th with a 4-10 record. Some of the key matchups, Liam Ivers head-to-head with the experience of Krista Tomlinson of Emerald. Ella James probably got the job on Mackenzie Fox, who's got 267 goals this season, the most for Emerald, and then Brody Smith probably head-to-head with Izzy O'Shannessy, who's got 228 goals, the most for Rock this season.
Very interesting. Okay, well, yeah, I feel like there's a lot on the line for Emerald in the footy, but of course that will also affect Emerald's. If they do get relegated, it will affect Emerald's netball, which would actually be quite a shame because they are so strong and performing so well.
I wonder how that might affect the netball, Steph, whether it maybe gives them an extra edge to kind of go, this is like, we've got to get it done this year, otherwise we don't get a chance at it, or does it maybe, but you're absolutely right. And it's important for Emerald too, just in the context of this season, they've gone back down to 4th with the loss to Mount Evelyn, so you want to get that win. As I mentioned, the top 3 is important. You get the double chances in finals, which is always good because, sometimes you might have an off week in finals and you don't want to have an off week in a knockout final. You much prefer to have it in a game where you get a double chance. So really important they win this game and stay in touch with that top 4. They will play Monbulk again, who they did beat earlier in the season. So, but if they lose this game, then the result of that game won't matter so much. So definitely important this game too for both sides. But yeah, really important, I think, just for the context of the whole club, that Emerald get this win and keep their chances alive of avoiding relegation, but we will see what happens. Yeah,
absolutely. All right, let's go with tips. Who are you going to go with for the footy?
I think on the home deck, I'm going to go Officer in the footy.
Okay, I'm going to disagree with you. I think Emerald have everything to lose, so I think that they're going to get it done.
Yep, all right, fair enough.
And the netball?
Going to go with Emerald for the netball. I think as mentioned, they're going to be quite hungry to get back into that top 3, and as mentioned, there's just a lot to play for.
Yep, I'll agree with you there. I'll go Emerald for the netball as well. Don't forget as well, this week's local footy hub match, which is exclusive to local footy hub subscribers, is Hillsville versus Wandon.
The women's field match for this week will be between Warburton and Wesburn and Yarra.
And before we move on, as we always do, let's take a look at community predictions because we love to know what you guys think. So first and foremost, the match of the round, football between Officer and Emerald.
The match of the round, netball between Rock and Emerald.
The local footy hub match between Hillsville and Wandon.
And the women's field match between Warburton, Wesburn and Yarra.
Since 1950, Pedders have understood that every customer's journey is different, but our solution remains the same, to get you where you want to go as safely as possible. We believe it's not just the destination that matters, but also the journey, and we are committed to creating better journeys for everyone.
Well, our first interview in the show this week was with Ella Priestley and Lili Denovan, who are 2 of our football umpires. I had a chat to them at the Olinda Ferny Creek versus Belgrave senior women's game, where we had 2 of our women's teams playing, a full female umpire panel, and 2 of the junior girls teams playing at halftime.
Well, I'm here with Ella and Lili. Ella is one of the field umpires for today, and Lili is one of the boundary umpires. How are you guys feeling about the match today?
Very excited. Very excited it's a great honour to be umpiring this incredible match against Olinda and Belgrave. But yeah, just super excited.
Yeah, I feel very proud to be picked as one of the boundary umpires. Feels quite good. It feels like I've done a good enough job to be here to support the girls and be part of it. So yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, well, it is very exciting. So we have a standalone women's match here today and we have an all-female umpire, which is awesome. But Ella, can you tell me a little bit about how you got into umpiring?
Mostly through my family. My brother started umpiring at Outer East first, and then my dad, my sisters kind of just got into it through them. But it's great for the community. I've just loved growing with the community over the years. So yeah,
amazing. What about you, Lili? How'd you get into it?
There was an umpire from our club who kept umpiring. I was like, hey, I want to do this. And and then I met Ella, Georgia, Taylor, and then I just felt part of all the umpires and felt really nice to be with everyone.
Is it fair to say that you guys are a pretty close group? I know you do some activities together through the year and things like that, like all of the umpires, but particularly all the female umpires as well.
Yeah, I
definitely, absolutely. We've had our women's night recently. We've had last Wednesday during the holidays, we had like this development day. But yeah, we're very close. Yeah.
And then how do you think you're going to go today? Because as we've been talking about already, it is pretty cold out there. It's also I How are you going to go with the conditions today?
I think I just need to warm up to it in a couple of minutes. Like when I get all my umpire gear on, I think I'll just get used to the cold and not having my warm like jumper on and everything, and like let's just get the blood flowing and the adrenaline up. So
Yeah. And then Ella, what made you choose field umpiring out of the 3 disciplines? Why field?
Oh, well, I started as a boundary and that really got me into the game, got me to know the rules of the game and everything. But I just felt like that wasn't enough for me, to be honest. I needed to be like in the pack, like not just viewing from the sidelines. I wanted to control the game, like be like, you know,
In the action.
you know. But yeah.
Yeah, nice. What about you, Lili? Why did you choose boundary?
Well, I'm a field junior umpire. And we were sitting down one night and they were talking about how much they get paid each month, and all these kids who started the same year as me, they were making so much more. They're like, oh, with boundary I'm making like $200 more. I was like, wait, I want to get into this. And they were like saying how many Ks they did, and I was like, I want to do that too. That seems fun. So I started off with like the under 18s and reserves, and I just got better until I got to the seniors.
Yeah,
so
amazing. All right, do you guys, last one for you, do you have any goals for the future? Like, is there anything you want to umpire at some stage, whether that might be like a grand final or whether you might want to take it to the next level? What's your end goal, do you think?
Ooh, that's a good one. For me, I think in the future, way future, to be umpiring like a seniors grand final would be good.
Yeah.
To get there at some stage, but I think at this point maybe a women's grand final would be my aim.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, definitely a grand final will be good. I don't know what's in the future for my boundary or field in the juniors, but let's hope I get a grand final and it's going to be really fun.
Yeah, amazing. Well, girls, thank you so much for having a chat to me. I really appreciate it. And good luck out there today. I'll be thinking of you while I'm standing here all rugged up. But yeah, good luck.
Our second interview for the week was with Olivia Edwards from Olinda Ferny Creek.
All right, well, I'm here with Olivia Edwards from Olinda Ferny Creek. We're down here at Olinda Recreation Reserve. You're about to play Belgrave. How are you feeling going into today's game?
Good. It's actually going to be an amazing day. We've obviously got, all women umpiring. We've got our under 11s and under 13s going to come on for a little scratch match at half time. So I think the energy is definitely up. The girls are up. So yeah, I'm super keen.
Yeah, that's amazing. All right, and now you guys are currently 3rd on the ladder. So how is the feeling of the group as we head towards finals? What's the belief like at the moment?
Like at the end of the day, I think our energy's always been up. I think that's probably one of the core values of our group is that we just try to stay up at all times. We have had last few weeks have been a bit tough. Few losses to the top sides, but I think if we just build our momentum, we'll be fine going into finals. I'm super keen for that. So yeah,
perfect. So last year you did go out in the first week of finals, but is the goal just sort of to push past that and to make it as far as you possibly can?
I think just take it a game at a time. Take our opponents a game at a time, and hopefully we can get a bit further than we did last year. Obviously the year before we were also quite successful, so somewhere a bit further would be great.
Yeah, perfect. And then I wanted to ask as well, so you are the leading goal kicker in your division at the moment. And you're not too far off actually how many you kicked last year as well. When you come into a season, do you kind of have that in mind, or is it sort of just something that you don't really think much about?
Not really. I think, everyone loves a snag at the end of the day. But no, it's not something I think about. I think at the end of the day, I try to just, we want scores on our goals on our scoreboard for all of us. So, if it's me, if it's someone else, I don't mind as long as we're taking on the game as we can. So no, not too much, but they're nice.
What do you think is something that the team has improved on this season?
I think we've had so many fresh girls coming in. I think our skills have gone up amazing. We've had girls that have played their first game compared to girls that are playing, 50th games now for our club. So I think, just our basic skills in general have gone up. Our midfield work's been great. Just getting really crafty, which is good.
Perfect. And then my last question for you today, it is very cold out there. It's also very windy.
So windy.
Do you have any plans to combat that wind? Because it feels like it might play quite a part in today's game.
I think it's just unpredictable when you come up the mountain. Being from the valley myself, it's something that you got to take on each week. So no, I think if there's any set shots, I'll be accounting for the wind 110%. But just got to keep, low hard kicks. And that's something training up here each week. We do get the courtesy of copying at training as well.
Yeah,
So we're ready.
You're prepared. You're prepared.
We're ready.
Awesome. Well, Olivia, thank you so much for chatting to me. I really appreciate it. And good luck for today.
Thank you.
As we mentioned at the start of the show, our special guest in the studio this week is Genesis Foster-Jonassen from Seville. She's come in to talk about her selection with the Cook Islands, and she'll be heading to the Youth World Cup in September.
Jen, thank you so much for joining us in the studio. It feels like it was just yesterday that I was speaking with you after the round 4 win over Warburton Millgrove after you'd made back-to-back Team of the Week appearances, but it seems pretty insignificant now given the news that's just come out in the last couple of days. So congratulations on being selected for the Cook Islands in the Netball Youth World Cup. What was your reaction when you found out?
Yeah, firstly, thank you. When I got the call back to hear that I made it through, I was happy and excited because it's an opportunity that doesn't come around very often. So to be able to compete on an international level will be something that I'm looking forward to.
Can you tell us a bit about your journey in getting selected for this squad? How does that process work?
Yeah, so it involved trainings, camps and trials. We had girls from all over Australia trialling and some from the Cook Islands, which was nice to see. And it was good to see the level of play that was there and getting to play against that. And yeah.
Yep. What does it mean to you personally to represent the Cook Islands on the world stage?
It means a lot. I'm honoured that I get to represent my family, my culture and where I come from, and also to the opportunity to wear the uniform. It means so much and it's something bigger. Yeah.
Yep. How has your game evolved over the past year leading up to this selection?
I would say I've become more confident and focused on what I want to achieve. Having coaches and teammates that support me and push me to be better has helped my game evolve over time, yeah.
Yep. Seville A grade is currently second on the ladder and heading into finals. If you make the grand final again this season, you'll play in that game and then be headed off for the tournament the next week. How do you think you'll prepare both physically and mentally, and what could be a massive week for yourself?
I think it'll be a big week, but it's a challenge that I'm looking forward to.
Yep.
I think just sticking to what I know and keeping it simple regarding nutrition, recovering well and keeping hydrated, I guess. And also mentally, I think just staying present and taking each game as it comes.
Yep. What role has your local club and teammates played in helping you reach this level?
Oh, a big one. Both Seville and Blaze have played a massive part in how far I've come today. My coaches pushing me to get better and my teammates supporting me the whole way through. It's been great, but also to my parents. They've been the backbone of everything that I've done and who I am today and where I'm getting to. So yeah, I just appreciate them and all their hard work that they continue to do for me.
Yep. What are you looking forward to the most about competing in Gilbert Trail and playing against teams from around the world?
I think just getting to see the experience of all the other countries that are out there, that are outside of Australia too, which will be cool to see and exciting to play against.
Yep. What advice would you give to younger players who dream of one day playing on the international stage like yourself?
Oh, that's a good one. I think just back yourself.
Yep.
Stay committed and stay focused on what you want to achieve and the goals that you want to strive for. And don't give up.
Jen, what will the structure of the tournament look like for those who don't know?
Yeah, so it'll be a 9-day tournament and every day we play one game a day. And I think just keeping the momentum within your team, obviously, to see how far you get will obviously be the main goal if you want to reach the end. Yeah.
Jen, thank you so much for joining us in the studio and good luck for the rest of the season for Seville and also good luck for the upcoming World Cup. Well, that pretty much wraps up all there is to talk about on the Pedders Suspension and Breaks Outer East Football Netball Show this week. Remember, if there's anything you'd like to see in the show, make sure you leave a comment down below. Steph, thank you again for joining me in the studio.
No worries at all.
For all the viewers out there, don't forget to get your game face on.